Hello everybody, and welcome to a very special bonus extra content video. And it's to celebrate a rather big milestone that's come along on the channel. And that is, as of today, I've owned this big red thing for 5 whole years. And of that, I've maybe had it working for a grand total of a year. But we thought we'd just mark this special occasion by a short montage of clips and videos throughout the time that I've had it, and a couple of photos just celebrating the ownership of basically what started off LMM. And all you guys like seeing it out and about and doing stuff, so enjoy guys, thanks for the support, and 5 years of having a fire engine. It's not aged me terribly at all. These are the first 2 pictures I ever took of Jupiter on my first visit to see it, where I agreed to buy the machine. It's from this moment on that I own a fire engine. And from there, I learnt to drive the truck around the industrial estate it was on. Way before I had an HGV license and before I could take it on the road, I spent about 3 months just driving around and getting the hang of driving the truck. And these shots are the first ever video I ever took of Jupiter. Having actually bought the truck, I disappeared off to work on a project for a few months, which meant that by the time I actually got back to Jupiter, winter was fast approaching. And it is obvious to say that driving Jupiter around in the winter months was the highlight of that winter. Jupiter looked at home on the ex-US Army base with all the odd buildings around it. Although it wasn't a permanent home, sometimes it lived in here with a friend of mine's other fire services, and sometimes it was stuck outside. Obviously I preferred it was indoors stored with other things, but it wasn't permanent, and sometimes I'd turn up and it'd been moved outside, and sometimes I'd turn up and it was back indoors again. The gentleman who sold me Jupiter ended up falling in love with it so much that he ended up buying this, which is a more up-to-date version of my truck. And we had a few nice times with them posed together. But ultimately he sold that and ended up buying Jupiter's sister, UCL 494W, and restored that back to its glory. And for a short period we had the 2 trucks side by side. It was around this time that I was getting quite confident with Jupiter, frequently taking it out for days out and just driving about and exploring the countryside, loving my fire engine. And as part of this, we took it to some shows where it was all around other vintage vehicles, which was really quite nice, and I was always happy to show the truck off. And as part of this, it ended up going to some of the railways that I'm part of. Some of them we'd be there and help out by pumping water, and sometimes it was just there on display, just kicking about. One of the events we went to was the fateful Ipswich Fire Engine Day. And as part of this, with Jupiter, we gave rides, we were driving about giving demonstrations, and all in all, it was just a really, really good day. We also had the opportunity to line it up with some other Dennises, a much older Dennis, and then the later Dennis. We had the evolution of the Dennis fire engine, which was wonderful. On the way home, I called in at Tesco to get some diesel, and Jupiter decided that it didn't want to leave. And that was the first time I broke down with Jupiter, resulting in needing recovery.
This is really weird, and I don't know if I like it. It's also the first time I've had a mobile phone whilst on the seat.
This of course was the start of Jupiter's air problems, and this particular fault took it out of action for several months until we sorted it and this delightful bit of video was created.
Oh my god! Oh my god! This might be the happiest I have ever been. big way.
Of course, it was not to be. In this one of my favourite photos, my friend Lewis is working on the truck after the brake lights locked on at home, resulting in one of its overnight stays outside my house. And of course, that wasn't all the issues. Soon after that, the starter packed up, resulting in having to replace the thing.
Yeah, that one right up there. Well, that's never going to go back in. I don't know how you got it out in the first place, let alone how the hell you managed to get this out on your own. I will never know. I mean, that's quite an impressive little thing to be able to
do is that top one.
Hit it.
It was around this time that I realised I really disliked working outside on my fire engines, and also in an amazing stroke of stupidity I purchased a second fire engine, and in an amazing stroke of luck it's also when we acquired the shed, and the rest of that, well, it's history that we've all shared with you guys, documenting the progress and the mishaps with the trucks through What's Broken Now and other specials that long-term viewers of the channel will remember. So on that note, I'm going to leave you. Thanks for watching this and delving into a bit of my 5-year history of the truck. I'm going to leave you with a montage of some of the highlights of the truck on the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.